Welcome to Ignite Technology, where we create enriching videos and content on technology.
In our class earlier, we talked about string and numbers when we talked about data types. I explained earlier that string is a sequence of character enclosed in quotes. In other words, string is a collection of character that is enclosed in quotes. So this quote can be a single quote or a double quote. String comprises of symbols, alphabets, numbers, so just anything. Just once you think string, you think text. Anything that is text can it's string. Whether it be symbol, whether it be numbers, whether it be alphabet, a string just referred to text. As far as it's enclosed in quotes, it is a string. Also talked about numbers. We've established previously that there are two data types under numbers. We have the integer and we have the float. The integer referred to whole numbers for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. While floats refer to numbers with decimal points like 5.5, 0.2. Any number with a with decimal point, as far as you are writing code, it is referred to as float. So we are going to take a deeper look into each of these data types, learn how to use them because you're going to be working with data every time. You're going to be working with numbers, you're going to be working with strings. So you need to learn how to properly work with each of them. So let's dive right in. So first we'll talk about strings, then we'll go over to numbers. So as I've explained earlier, a string is a collection of character or rather a sequence of character that is enclosed in quotes. So let's create a string. So I'm going to create a variable. I will name it string. I'm going to set it equals to, it seems string is a reserved word. So so that we'll not run into any error, I'm going to use my string. So let's continue. So now, as we've explained earlier, a string has to be enclosed in quotes. This quote can be single or they can be double. So I will use double quotes. So I'm going to say this is a string. What if I want to add a quote inside a string? Because I told you a string is a collection of characters. It's not only limited to alphabet. You can also see symbols there. So a string is a collection of characters. So maybe I want to add a quote inside the string. If I'm using a double quote, I can add a single quote inside a string. But if I'm using a single quote, I can add a double quote inside the string. So let's talk about the different ways we can work with string. First of all, we'll talk about string concatenation. So string concatenation is well, I say the art of the process, but string concatenation just means adding two strings together, appending two strings together. So, for example, let me create a string. I'll name this string. I'll name this variable name, and it's going to save my name, which you already know is Emmanuel. And then I'll also create another string. Call it age. I'll make it a string, although it's supposed to be an integer, but I'll just make it a string. Oh, I'm not that old. Let me add um okay, so concatenating string that I've explained is just appending two strings side by side. So there are different methods of concatenating strings, and I'm going to teach you the different method of string concatenation. So the first one is we go with the plus. We use the plus. So I can do something like my name is, then I add a plus, then add name. Remember, even space is a character. So when I want to have space in my string, I have to add the space because it's a character. And my age, and my age is. I put space, then I'm going to add it to age. So right now, if I should run this, I should have my name is Emmanuel and my age is 40. So you get the concept behind string concatenation. So let me show you the second method of string concatenation. So I'm going to print. So first of all, I'm going to write an F. Student it's called string formatting. Then when I write my age, my name is, instead of adding a plus, I'm going to put a dollar sign. No, not a dollar sign. I'm just going to put curly brackets. These curly braces are, I don't know what they are called exactly, but I just call them curly braces. So I'm going to add curly braces and I'm going to add what I want to print out. So I want to say name. Then I'm going to also say, then I'm going to add a comma and I am I am, sorry, curly bracket. I'm going to put age years old. So I'm going to save this. When I run it, you see we get exactly the same output. Like we are still able to concatenate our string. My name is Emmanuel and I am 40 years old. So whichever method that you want to go with, you can concatenate using this method or using this method. So let's that is that for string concatenation. So let's talk about string repetition. So let's say I want to repeat a particular string more than one times, and I don't want to like create that particular variable like repeat it. I can do something like let's say I want to repeat a string. I want to create a variable laugh. I want to simulate like a laugh or something like I don't know how to explain this, but so I can print this, print laugh. So I'm supposed to get ha 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 three times. So I get ha ha ha. So this is what I mean by string repetition. We can make our string kind of repeat. Let's talk about slicing and indexing through a string. As I told you, a string is a collection. Each character you see in a string is actually an item of its own. It's an item that exists in its own. So you can access the individual item by slicing through it or indexing through the string. So we could go something like, let's say I want to get the first character in my string, the first character in this string. So I'm going to print, I'm going to call the string I want to get to my string, and I'm going to put a square bracket, and I'm going to index to the particular location that I want. To get the first character, I'm going to go for the index location 0. Remember, whenever you're counting numbers, as far as computer is concerned, we always start by number. So C is at the index position 0, H is at the index position 1, I is at the index position um 3, right? Over that 2. S is at the index position 3, while this space here is at the index position 4. So if I should save this and print it, I should get T, just T. So I can index to different position. I can go for the index position 8. So the item at the index position 8 is 0. So let's count it. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Remember, even space is also a valid string. Even a space is also a valid character. Space is a character. So let's continue. So that is how I can index to a particular location in my string. I can equally slice through my string. Slicing through my string is I don't just want to print only one this time around. Maybe I want to print from the index position 8 to the index position 9. So I should get A and a space. No, what is after this is 8 and the next one should be that. So let me kind of go from the index position 1 to the index position 9. So yeah, I go from the index position 1, which I told you this is 0 and this is 1. So we started from T and we printed to this space here, which is the item at the index position 9. So you understand how to slice through a list. So we have to slice through a string and how to index to a particular location in a string. I can say, okay, I want to print everything from from the first character or from the first item in my string to the item at the index position 9. So I can do this. No, so you can get now. So I'm printing from the first character, which is the item at the index position 0, to the item at the index position 9. And I said I want to print from the item at the index position 9 downwards. So I'm going to print everything that comes after the item at the index position 9. So you can see the space there, and then we get the remaining things that are still part of our string. So now that is how we can index through a string and how we can slice through a string. So let's talk about methods that we can use when working with string. So now whenever you see me mention the word methods, I'm talking about functions that are attached to a particular um thing. I don't really know how to explain it for now, so we won't kind of confuse you. We are just going to talk about methods when we go to object-oriented programming. But for now, let's just see method as anything that we attach to a particular variable to actually execute something. For example, I want to get the uppercase version of my name. So I can do something like this. Upper, let me just create a variable upper, and I will set it equals to name. So now to add a method, the first thing you need to add is dot. Whenever you see me adding something dot something, know that what I'm about to add is actually a method. Dot upper case. Then I'm going to put my bracket. I don't know if I really got that correctly. So I'm not actually printing anything. So let me print. So print upper. So I think I'm actually wrong though. That should be upper case rather than upper. Okay, it's actually upper. So I just checked. It's actually upper. So I'm just going to rename this variable so we don't like clash. So I'm going to name it all caps. So I'm going to print out all caps and I'm going to save this. and run it. So I should get Emmanuel, but Emmanuel now should be in capital letter. Note, what I used here was the lowercase version of Emmanuel, but you can see what I'm getting here, the uppercase. So I was able to use the upper method to get the uppercase version. So let's say, for example, I also want to get the lowercase. So let me kind of you know, change this uh, to the uppercase. Sorry, so I can like get the lowercase version. So Emmanuel, and then I can print dot lower. Yep. So this is the lowercase version of this. I can get the capitalized version, meaning that only the first item or the first character in the string will be capital. The first character of every word, rather, the first character of every word. So I guess we can use this method. Okay, sorry, I have not added my bracket. So you can see Emmanuel, but our E is starting with a capital letter. So this is the different methods and different ways that we can work with string. I would advise you to research more. There are so many resources to learn from. Research more and find other methods that you can use when working with strings because there are so many. They're uncountable. We have methods like repeat. We have methods like there are many methods for achieving different things. But for now, we are going to only talk about the upper, the lower, and the capitalized method. So you can research more and get more methods that we can work with when working with string. Although we'll still be bringing in more as we proceed in the course, but for now, this is the only three we'll talk about. So let's talk about numbers. So that this will not affect me, I'm going to comment it. So I'll use the block comment tool and I'll come here. So let's continue. So when we talked about numbers, I told you numbers we are just referring to any numeric character. Things like 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are two main data types under numbers. We have the integer which refers to whole number and we have float which refers to numbers with decimal points like 0. 0.1, 1.0, 10 points, anything. As far as there's a point, it is a float. So let's talk about how to work with numbers. So first of all, I'm going to create a variable called number. I'm going to set it equals to just a number. So now the first thing that we are going to talk about is how to perform mathematical operations on number. We've already done this when we talked about operators. We talked about the different arithmetic operators. So arithmetic operators specifically works on numbers. Although we can also use them on strings though, but they are specifically meant for numbers for performing arithmetic operations, which are operations that are involving numbers. So we have the different arithmetic operator like the plus, the division, the module, the floor division, the exponential. So different arithmetic operator that we can work with when working with numbers. In case you need more guide on that, you can like refer back to the operator section so that you see more of these operators. So let's talk about typecasting. Let's talk about typecasting. So, as I told you, we have two main data types under number. We have integer and we have float. So float is any number with decimal point. So I can convert from one data type to another data type. That is what typecasting means. Typecasting means converting from a particular data type to another data type. For example, let's say I want to convert this 40 here from being a string to being an integer. From being a string to being an integer. So all I have to do is to can create and say refer to age. I set it equals to int. To convert to an integer, I'll use the keyword int, and I want to pass in age. So that I will not confuse us, I'm going to use integer age. So when I save this, now age have successfully been converted to integer. So that's how we kind of get what really happened here. So like, I will print the data type instead of printing the value itself. Because if I should print it, you will just get 40. So let me print the data. To get the data type of a particular variable, use the type keyword. So I'll say type. I want to print the type of age. And now I'm going to print the type of int age. So I'll save this when I run it. So you see the type of age, the data type of age is a string, but now when we got to int age is now an integer. So that is how we can typecast from string to a number. So I can equally convert this back to a string. Convert this back to a string by using the str reserve word. So I can say str, I'll put my brackets. When I save this, now we see that this is no longer an integer, it is now a string. So I can convert from integer to a string, from string to an integer. You get the idea, right? But to actually convert from a string to an integer, you must make sure that the string is actually made up of numbers. Let me say, for example, this string there's actually alphabets here. If I should run this, I should have error because I cannot convert alphabets to numbers. As you can see, this is an error, and it's telling me my error is in line 22. Why is it telling me my error is in line 22? But you get where the error is coming from. The error is coming from line 18. And then you can see the like where it is pointing out that we have a value error, invalid this, but this is the main error that we have. So you cannot convert alphabet or text to number. So whenever you want to convert a string to an integer, just make sure that that string is made up of only numbers. So you can convert from an integer to a string by using the str. You can convert. Let me kind of show you so that you kind of understand it. So for str, and then age will be equals to, I can say str. I want to convert this int age that is already a string to that's already an integer to a string. So now if I should print the type of string age, I should get string because of it is actually a string. So that's how we can convert from integer to a string. So let's talk about how we can convert from boolean to an integer. So whenever you want to convert from boolean to an integer, sorry, rather from float to an integer, or from integer to a float, from integer to a float, or from float to an integer, you can use the um the float keyword to convert from integer to float. So if I should print this now, I should get float because of this is now data type float. Well, if I should print it, if I should just print it, one thing about float is that float comes with a decimal point. So we are supposed to see the decimal point. It's supposed to be 40 point something. So you see they are giving us 40.0. Because of now I've converted 40 to a float. Now I'm getting 40.0. I can equally convert from float to an integer. As I have float here, I can convert, I can say in I can create a new variable and just name this one. Let me just name it num and I'll set it equals to int and what I want to convert is this variable called flow, and then I'll save this. When I run this, okay, I should actually print it out. So I'm going to print out num. So yeah, instead of getting 3.4, I got only 3 because now it's no longer a float, it is now an integer. So that's how we can typecast from one number data type to another number data type, or from one data type to another data type. We can convert from string to an integer, with the only rule being that the string has to be made up of numbers. We can convert from float to integer, from integer to float, from integer to string. So you see we can do a lot. So for now, that is all for string and numbers. See you in the next section where we'll talk about functions. Thanks for watching.